What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Oregon Urban Garden. Hopefully, everybody's doing well. It is Wednesday, August 9th. Things are looking good. It's been just over a week since the last update. This will be the first August update. So we'll just go through it as we always do. Hopefully, everybody's been doing well. It's a nice little overcast today, about 80 or so. That's about 27 degrees centigrade for everybody across the pond. So we'll start up here. I moved a couple of the containers that were up here on top, but we have the Jacoby little pumpkins are starting to come in a little bit. Really slow growers. Maybe I'll try it again next year. I'll get an earlier start and have them different. Even over here in the ground, there's some in the ground just down here. You can see they're starting to come up just here, but pretty slow in comparisons to everything else. But we'll get to that. Down here we have like yellow crookneck squash, doing pretty good. These, to be honest, these containers have been getting kind of neglected. Been pretty busy. Summer's been catching up to us, but as you look through, we do have some courgettes. And just on the back here, this one's actually hanging down here. Gotta stake this one up or something. Nice little yellow crookneck there. That's actually a good size to pull. That one over there is a little harder skin. But all the containers are doing pretty well. I haven't fed them at all yet. Also, last time I was getting distracted, I was talking about the tomato that was sitting just up here and how that yellow pear, I thought it was yellow pear. We'll get to that. These are all the yellow pears here. They were all sown mid-May, planted July 1st. They're doing really well. Setting fruit all over. Looking good. I got them Florida weave going here. Well, there were 6 here. One were getting into the way of this plant here on the end. So I actually got rid of number 6 to give that plant over there, this special one here, a little bit extra room. So I cut one out, but pretty much what I was getting at is the container one, which I'll show you in a minute, that was up here, was supposed to be yellow pear. Every plant that I put in the ground, and also I was confused on tags, there's a mix up and stuff, nothing was actually really marked. Every plant that's in the ground here is yellow pear, even the one I pulled out. The backup that was in the container, which is actually over here now. This one, I was going to talk about, I sort of briefly talked about it last time, about like the size of the leaf. You can usually tell a tomato is a bigger or smaller tomato depending on the leaf here. And I would say this one's a medium to large tomato, just based off the leaf versus a smaller yellow pear leaf like that, big difference. Smaller tomato, smaller leaf, bigger tomato. And here's the tomato from that right now, starting to form. We got some more coming in just up here. Nice thick stalk. I'm not pruning it at all, I'm just letting it do its thing. Let suckers grow. It's probably indeterminate, or maybe it might be a mix. I don't know. But it's either a Stupice or a Golden Treasure from Territorial Seed Company. And that's what the yellow pears are from too. But this might have been the one lucky one that didn't go over here because it might have messed everything up for how I was trying to do everything. So this plant is by itself and it's looking really good. Real healthy. Long ways to go still. Other container. These 4 are doing good. August 9th and the rest of these start flowering like mid-August. Usually you can see the internodal spacing on that starting to close up a little bit and getting kind of a lot more tighter and busier on top. That's how one way you can tell it's starting to flower. But they're not showing signs of sex yet on those. They do smell good though. But you can see everything's getting tighter, closing up. That means it's trying to go in the flower. But that's the containers. We'll buzz back over here and take a look at this pumpkin. It's a jack-o'-lantern pumpkin. And it's in the ground just here. One of the vines around. You guys can see it in the other updates, but it's a good sized pumpkin there. Starting to color up pretty good. Looking really awesome. Then the other line comes up here. Go back and check out the other updates, but multiple lines going up here. I did let this pumpkin for him here. I'm gonna do like a hammock of some sort with a t-shirt and some paracord or something. And then there was another one just here I cut out, but I actually opened up the trellis here. I can always close this back and zip tie it to close this hole here, but I let this one come through as well. So I'll do a hammock here for this one. Might have to do like a cross stick as well going across here, because it's not the strongest. It's not cattle panel, it's not that strong. That's why I put the extra bracing up, which actually helps a lot. Like this one will be fine with a hammock. But good size, both of them. Looking awesome. I want to do them different next year, give them some more space, but up and over the trellis. And the idea is the ends here will come down and tap into this charge pot. I'm going to try that. Amendment soil, like potting mix, compost is all in that. So once it comes down, I'm going to try to make it root into the pot here. And hopefully it'll tap in and then kind of keep crawling down and going over here maybe. At least another spot to get some water to feed the line back up this way. Courgettes are doing really good. Also, last time I meant to, actually had it all set up and I totally got distracted, but I was going to talk about seeds still. Still have time to get seeds in the ground. You can see the some are kind of getting munched off by probably slug or something, but over here I got yellow squash planted, so next to each squash, I actually have more squash. This is actually yellow zucchini. Just here's a couple starting there. So next to each main plant, I have seeds started next to it. Nice little courgette growing there. We've done like easily over 30 zucchinis, more growing just there all the time. But next to every main big plant, I have new ones started. I meant to mention that in the last one. Yeah, yellow pears are looking really good. Getting tall. You guys probably noticed that the potatoes are all falling over. It's been over 60 days since these were sowed. There's 5 fingerling potatoes here. But you can see they're starting to get some spots going. Starting to get a bit of yellowing going. Flowering like crazy all over. But you can tell when they start leaning like that, they start falling over and start getting to that point. They might be getting a little bit closer to harvest time. Everything's just kind of flopped all over the place, which is good though. It gave all the room for the yellow pear tomatoes just here. So yellow crookneck squashes are both looking really good. You can see just back in there, the other plant has squash on it. Nice little one starting. And I just left this one going. This one was, where was this one? It was on here somewhere. I forgot exactly where. Oh, it was right here. This one. Just there. But yeah, this thing, I just kind of let it go to see how it would look at full mature size. Really hard, dense skin. Really pretty color. Cool, like, looking. But when they're smaller like that, that's the better stage to eat them, I think. My opinion. But looking really good. On this side, I have a jackpot zucchini. I think those were yellows. There might have been yellows here next to this yellow crookneck, but they're yellow zucchini. They're not yellow crookneck. They're just yellow squash, like the courgettes. Over here we have a jackpot. It'd be a green courgette. You can see another one just coming up just there. I planted like 4 seeds per area. Just like over here next to this. I just harvested this too. Just to let it get all full size here. It's a really pretty table ace variety from the nursery. But yeah, it's looking really good. The plant's rocking, climbing up the structure here, pretty nice. But yeah, that's a pretty good full size one there. I just want to show you that. And there's the jackpot zooks coming up there next to that one. So as soon as those are established, it all are going, you know, with the true leaves on it, not just the sea leaves. I gotta let it fully establish and get pretty good size in here with not full light either, and then we'll cut the old plants out so it keeps on going. So real quick, tomatillos are stacking up, filling out. You can feel them in there getting a little bit bigger. This one's a lot slower of a grower, but you can feel them all in there. Where this plant over here, you can see they're stacked up pretty good over here, but you can feel them in there a bit better. We've had some that I've got done, like this one. You can see it starting to come to the husk. This one's almost ready. A lot of these lower ones down here. Got a fly or something right in my face. Always critters flying around, but a lot of these up here are getting done. A lot of the tops are smaller, but they're stacking up. I think I might have over-fertilized with that last fertilizer too. With tomatillos, you don't really need to do anything, and they might have got a little extra dose. You see that same kind of little burn going on. Let's see if I can find a good leaf that shows that. Well, maybe this one's kind of wearing off. You can see on the ends there a little bit of burn. Cukes, I've been harvesting so many cucumbers. And you can see down in there is a nice one there. Nice one starting all the way up here. These are Market More slicers. But you can see all the new ones coming in too pretty soon. Keeps for days. Just over here is one I'll probably pull today, tomorrow. Just about perfect size there on that. Looking really good. You can see this cucumbers all the way up. Cucumbers all the way up on that. Looking really good on everything. So that's rocking. And then down here we got the pickling cukes. I also did some quick pickles. I got 3 quart-sized jars of pickles. Another one just in there. So I have enough. There's another one just back in there. I have enough for another batch. At least another couple jars. Another one just over there. But then there's a bunch of new ones starting up over here. A bunch of new ones all over coming in. And it's crawling up the trellis with a bunch more. I'm not sure how much more we'll get out of those. And the beans yesterday, I pulled, I don't know, a couple hundred green beans. I kind of messed some stuff up. I was yanking on them kind of hard. But you can see the vine that goes all the way down there's been all the way back up here and all the way falling back down on this pile. But inside there's always so many beans. I'll have like a whole nother round of beans coming soon. And that's just the stuff that's like still growing. But I was pulling handfuls of beans yesterday, so we'll have to wait a little bit more. But there's still beans all over. Like I harvested more than I can handle last night, but that's fine. Basil's kind of got this leaf stuck to my leg. I thought it was a bug crawling on me. Basil's starting to bolt a little bit, starting to flower out. I might just trim it back to keep it going. Back here in the back, just hanging out. Oh, a few beans dropped. My daughter was helping me stack up beans and stuff yesterday in the bucket. I also want to talk to you guys too about some of this underplanting I did. You can see some of them starting up. I planted some beets back here, some beetroot. 2 different varieties. That was like the last video I did that. Also some onions I believe I planted back here too. You can see some starting to come up. Just threw them in, just had some extra seed, but beetroot will be going here. And also down here by the yellow pear tomatoes like I was talking about. Also have some beetroot coming up through here too. You can see them starting to sprout. 2 different varieties, 1 row. You can see them down there starting to sprout. Looking pretty good. So yeah, the beans are going crazy. Going up and over the trellis with everything. Lettuce is still doing pretty good. I've actually had the lettuce going throughout the whole summer so far. Summer's starting to kind of bolt a little bit here, but some are in the good spot and they're getting still nice. I've been pulling pretty good off of those. Same with the lettuce down here, just under the tomatoes here. Yeah, still pretty good lettuce in there. You can see I pulled off quite a bit off of those, but they're starting to bolt, starting to shoot up a little bit. But I've harvested like at least half a dozen times or more off of that, and off of this stuff too, which is still producing lettuce. All right, let's come out here and look at the tomatoes. Oh man, it's pretty warm out. It's only 80, but it's like pretty humid back here in the garden. So this is one of the Mega Bloom looking tomatoes here. All this is really fused together in here. I'll probably be pulling this soon. I just want to show you that this part's not quite red. This top part's ready to go. Really nice color on that. Tomatoes are pretty big. This one has like a little bit of marks on it and stuff. I'll let it go a little bit longer. I'll pull that, starting to color though. See how this one's green back here? This one's starting to get some color on it. But just back here, these tomatoes are pretty massive. These are bigger. Even that back one back there is bigger It's actually looking really big back there. Those are pretty fat. It's a 3/8 steak. Those are pretty fat. These are beef steak, super steak variety. And yeah, they're ready to come off pretty soon. All the energy to these plants have just been going into these tomatoes and not really producing too much, but now we're starting to get some more tomatoes on top. So about time we at least cut this one out of there so that way I can focus more energy up on top. And then those big ones up there like cat facing and looking all crazy too. Pretty good size. Some aromas over here. Some are getting some color on them. Looking really good. These aromas are looking nice right here. Like full size. Looking really good. A bunch more stacking up here. Then all the trusses for the, these are super sweet 100. Sometimes the trusses will get tangled. You have to go through and kind of like untangle some of the trusses. As the tomatoes grow, they'll kind of like intertwine on top of each other because they're so dang many. So you kind of have to go through. Sometimes like a tomato will fall off or whatever, but the better you get them untangled, the better the tomato truss will set and hold a bunch of fruit. But yeah, we've been pulling tomatoes all the time. You can see some of these top ones have all been eaten. All these top ones we've been pulling. But the more you pull off the tomatoes, the more, like here, if we're harvesting these up here, we'll start focusing more on these down here. So it's really good for the tomato plant itself to harvest the tomatoes as you go. You can see these are starting to turn some color here. It's actually all the same plant. It goes here, spikes the V here, and goes up and just setting fruit all over. Every truss has so many tomatoes all over on it. All over the place. Yeah, super sweet 100s producer. Just like over here. Like we've been pulling these tomatoes here. There's a couple more left on that vine. This is actually a sun sugar here, and same with that one. But yeah, a bunch are gonna start turning color. Lots of tomatoes on that, but this nothing competes with the sweet 100. Like the amount of tomatoes as you go, as you look across, the amount of tomatoes they put out. Full trusses of tomatoes. I actually have to get in here and finish doing the staking. Still getting lots of nice blossoms coming up, and it's actually tall as that stake now. And this one back here is actually starting to grow into the sunflowers, which, on that note, sunflowers are looking awesome. Really filling out. This one's leading hard. It's a little skinny one that came up and had to try to compete. That's kind of falling over there, but really pretty. The big one, that's about 10 foot up there almost. It's leaning a little hard now, so maybe a little shorter. But it's all filling out, multi-head. They're all multi-heads. They're all stacking up really cool. This one just came out the other day. Nice new color on that, really pretty. Bees have been loving it. All multi-head everywhere. This one, you know, bees have been loving it. They've been just all over it. Yeah, no problem with pollination out here at all. Pretty much from the morning time till evening time, it's bees going everywhere. There's a bee just on that one. Yep, there it goes. Yeah, they're all over. But look at these sunflowers, how they come out, all multi-head. This one here is kind of one of the first ones, getting kind of older. I think I might try to harvest this one and maybe dry out the seeds or something. It's pretty mature. I might just let it go a little bit longer. You can see some of these are starting to go, but then each one has a little side flower coming off of it too. Looking awesome. And just down below, these getting a little shade are the eggplants, which they've been looking really, really good. Here's a couple. Let's see if I get back here. A couple nice eggplants going there. More flowers on top coming in. This one doesn't have any eggplants yet, but it has a nice little start one there. Oh, actually, yeah, I lied. There's one starting. There we go. But plant's looking good. It's getting nice and tall, good color. Yeah, just down here on this one, we got a couple really pretty ones. It's like perfect size to harvest right there. Good color. This one needs a little bit more time. And then this one will be putting off some more blossoms as soon as we get these harvested off of here. And just panning over here, we got the pepper patch. Peppers are all looking really, really good. You can see they're stacking up like crazy. This one's a cayenne hot, it's called. You can see the size of the cayenne is pretty large for a cayenne pepper. A lot of the cayennes I've done in the past are more about this size, maybe a little bit larger than that total size. But you can see a lot of them are getting pretty fat. But just peppers all over. I think this one's trying to get some of these peppers put out and harvested because it's getting so loaded down with peppers all over. I think pretty soon we'll be picking some of these first ones out and then letting the plant grow up again. But same with the bells too. I might be coming in and getting some of these bells out early, because pretty much you could harvest them whenever. But all the bells are looking really, really good. Everything's stacking up like crazy. Pretty much every plant here has, I'd say on the average they have about 8 to 10 bell peppers. You see them all in there. New one's starting. There's more. Go around here. You can see they're just loaded in there. Just like this one here, you can see just loaded. Some of these first ones, once they get just a little bit bigger, I'm gonna come in here and get some of these out, but you can see on top they're just stacking up. Over there you can see more just everywhere. This was that little shorter one. Still a shorter one. Still putting on some nice peppers as well. Just all over, loaded up. For being a little shorter guy, you can see them all stacked in there. This one over here on the end. You can see new ones coming in. New ones coming in. All these are up on top. Nice one there. And just here too is another good one starting. But as you look down in there, there's peppers for days in there. So all of these here are all bell peppers, and then this mixed yellow-green back here bell. Took a while to start. You can see one starting there on top now. It does have a nice little pepper down in there. Some more new ones starting here, but this one was kind of a slow. I don't know, maybe because it's buried because the sunflower is right here, but this one was a little slow compared to all of these here in the front. And the jalapenos rocking, stacking up a bunch still. See if I can find a good view there for you. Peppers all over. I can't even count how many peppers are on this, but there's just like so many jalapenos all over. Just like this one here. Jalapeno. More there. So many new ones starting. But just back in here too, it's just so many. Like this one plant probably has 50 or more on it, which that's doing really good. Let's see. Yeah, I still haven't really fed that much. I did that other little feed. It was like a more of a flour. I think it was like a 5-10-10 or something like that. A bit strong for my taste. I usually like to leave it pretty bare. You know, not give it a whole lot. My daughter's garden bed is looking really good. We did these zucchinis here. I believe there's 4. Yeah, four popped up. These are just the regular zooks. Actually, I believe these are the jackpot zucchinis that are just like back over there on that side. Saying they got some true leaves coming. We'll probably keep this closest one to this corner here, and then these other 3 we'll cut them. I'm gonna have her do it. They're gonna get cut out. Give this one all the space, that way it can kind of hang over here. But you can see the little husky reds are looking really good. I feel like they're starting to get a tinge of red going, but a bunch of new ones starting up in here, just on the back side there. And you can see he's putting on new growth and new flowers and stuff all over. So a little husky red for her to get her tomatoes going. Her chrysanthemum here, her mum, is all filled out, looking really good, really pretty. Nice color on that. Yeah, her little garden bed's cute. She's only 3. Get her going early, right? Over here, the herbs are looking really good. Still rocking. Bean herbs, you know how they are. But really, I wanted to show you these bush variety bean. Starting to have lots of blossoms all over. looking really good over here. I just threw them out, just random, try to get something growing in this ground to get this ground rebuilt and everything. But you can see all the beans starting there. All the new little beans. It goes from a blossom into a bean. So very shortly we're going to have some bush beans coming up right here too. But that's going to do it for this little update. First August update here. If you guys are enjoying the content, make sure you guys smash that like button. Also comment if you got any comments or just want to say hi. Yeah, that's going to be it for this one. So I'll see you guys all in the next one. Take care, everyone. Peace out.